What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back again with good old Boss here. We find ourselves back here again, back in the saddle again. I'm no singer, sorry. But if you're tuning in today, we're going to do a little surgery on good old Boss here. We're going to be using two things, and two things only. We're going to be using some Loctite super glue, and we're going to be using a scalpel. No, I'm just kidding. An X-Acto knife. You'll only need these two things to really modify your Republic Commando here. I don't know. If you guys watched my review, you know I wasn't really happy with this figure overall, as an overall product. I'm seeing a lot of people kind of just saying, oh, it's good enough. To me, I don't know. I don't like to settle for mediocrity. So it's not good enough for me. So I'm going to try and fix this to make him look a little bit the part, even though there's nothing really I can do drastically unless I get like a John Walker Customs like body kit, which I'm no painter. I don't know if you guys haven't noticed, but yikes. When I try to paint something, holy Moses. It's like, just put it down, Anthony. Put it down. Put the toy down. But we got Boss here, and if you guys didn't see the review, go check it out if you want to. I just uploaded it about 6 days ago, so check that out per the date of this video. So there's a couple problems with Boss here. I mean, well, there's more than a couple problems, but there's let me just get this straight, because there were some people kind of a little confused by my statements on the figure. This is not a bad figure. It's just very excessively mediocre. So we're going to try and take away the mediocrity of the figure. And we're going to try and fix it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do two things. I'm going to fix this knee armor, and then fix both the pauldrons, or the shoulder armor, whatever you want to call it. The pauldrons are attached here at the shoulder, and I think it's a major issue because it's causing it to do this like floating kind of like, looks like he's got wings here and he's gonna fly away, like Red Bull gave him wings and now he's flying. So I think that kind of causes some of the weird, like, he makes him look like he's wearing like football armor or football shoulder pads or something like that. As a former football player, I'll tell you, that's what it looks like. It really looks like if you've ever played football in your life with pads on, full contact, you'll know what I'm talking about here. This is exactly what it looks like. It makes him look like a teenager in armor. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these off using this. We're going to cut these off and entirely, because this floating nonsense just it's not working for me. So we're going to cut these off here very gentilely, as much as possible. It's not going to ruin the figure or anything like that. We're just going to go ahead and cut that off, and we're going to cut the other side off as well. And we're just going to cut right along the line, the black line there, just so you get a little bit of that, okay? Now, this is the beginning stages of it here. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to actually try and see if I can just pry these off. I don't think you can. They're kind of just like attached to the leg, but which kind of sucks. I just hate the way that this looks. It just looks so silly when it's it's attached to the upper thigh. So we'll go ahead and cut this off next. We'll get in here and just lightly kind of cut away. Just lightly cut away here. And trust me, I'm being very careful with my knife technically you shouldn't be cutting towards your finger, so I'll try and do this so I don't give anybody a heart attack here. It's kind of hard to see, especially when I'm doing this on camera. Okay, I'm cutting away from myself, away from my fingers, and I'm just kind of slowly slicing away here. And I'm trying to leave some white here so I don't damage anything else. And I'm just slowly gonna... There we go. So I got the knee armor off. And this is what he looks like without the knee armor on. Now, what I might do is I might fill this in. I might shave this down and fill that in with some black paint. I'll just paint that black right here so it kind of blends in with the rest of the mold. Because if you look at the mold here, you'll see that the mold for the knee is that kind of inner layer for the armor. So you could work with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to replace this knee pad or knee armor. Excuse me. I keep wanting to say shoulder, knee. I don't know. Shoulder, knee. What's wrong with me? And we're going to do it like this. So when he bends his leg, we don't have this knee armor sticking out where it shouldn't be, because the knee armor should be sitting here like it's supposed to be for full usage. If you have the knee armor up here, there's no protection for the actual knee. That's why we have military, if you have military BDUs, they usually have an inner woven knee pad right into the BDU now for the most part. Especially Navy SEALs, they use the same thing. It's already inner attached, so when you take a knee immediately, it goes right to your knee. You're protecting your knee once you take that knee, and it's right where you need it to be, which is on the ground. If you were to have your knee pad or knee armor up here, you're not protecting your knee at all. So you probably end up, blowing out your leg or blowing out an ACL or maybe an MCL, PCL, whatever. So that's kind of the purpose here, and this is why, certain little things, little details squeak past, the people at Hasbro here. So I'm just going to kind of just cut away slowly and steadily and not try to ruin my fenders, or if you don't know what a fender is, I call it a fender, a finger. I'm just going to set him down for a second just so I can get a better grasp on this. There we go. I'm just slowly, I don't want to go too close. I'm just kind of slowly peeling it, cutting it off. There we go. All right. So that is how we're going to look now. Like this and like this. And that's pretty much it. We're done. We're done with our modification. So this is how he's going to stay. This is how he's going to look from now on. I'm just kidding. Probably got people in the comments like, what the hell are you talking about? So what you also can do is you could also trim this off on the inside if you wanted to. You could. But if you do want to have a stopping point for the knee, you could just glue this right to where the stopping point is. It'll probably stay as well, and you'll have an idea of where to put the knee so it lines up properly and covers that up. Now, when you do take a knee, you're going to have to paint this part black, because now you're going to see all of this white access plastic, excuse me. So you could still go back in there, trim some more of this off like I'm doing, and that would probably help the most, especially when you're trying to repaint something. You don't want to just paint over the part that you just cut up, because it'll just look terrible that way. So kind of just removing the plastic. You can actually see that there's black plastic underneath that where they glued this on, or molded it on, whatever you want to call it. So there is black plastic underneath there. So if you can get down to the black plastic and then kind of sand it down just a little bit, paint over it, that's probably your best bet as far as blending it in. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to try and also shave some of these back a little bit more. If I can remove them entirely, I wish I could, but I don't think I can. So what we're going to do for the shoulder armor is, it's simple. I'm just going to attach it to the actual arm itself. So it's going to do the natural kind of old school effect for like what the clones actually do is when you lift the arm up, it kind of cups over there. And I think it's going to give more of a natural look as opposed to this floating piece doing this. So this will be like this, and it'll just kind of naturally gravitate over the shoulder like that. So that's what we're going to aim for. That's what we're going to try and do here. Don't worry about this. If you want to paint that orange, you can. Obviously, this is going to go on the other arm. I know that. I was just using it as an example. So this is actually how it'll be functional right here. So painting that up and then gluing that to the arm, I think, is your best bet for that. If you don't want to go about modifying your figure at all, like I said, and you're happy with the way it looks, then be happy with the way it looks. That's fine. No issues here. I'm just kind of trying to help out people that do want some sort of option as opposed to how Hasbro gave us this product. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to shave some of this back. I might go ahead and paint over this. We'll see how far I get with that. I'm going to try and shave these back a little bit further too, so they're not seen at all, which they shouldn't be seen after this is glued properly to the arm, but we'll go ahead and do that and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with Boss all finished after the modification, and I gotta say, it's a little bit of an improvement. It definitely is. I think aesthetically, he looks a lot more natural and better. He's a little bit more sleeker just because of the way the shoulder pauldrons are sitting. I gave him the John Walker Customs DC-17M Improvement Rifle, as I like to say it, over the Hasbro Little Baby Pea Shooter, baby. I think it looks a lot better. I think it's a little bit better in scale with how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be an interchangeable kind of modular weapon where you can put a sniper barrel on it, and you can put Scorches friggin' like rocket launchers on it. It's supposed to be like a interchangeable, do-it-yourself, all-in-one Swiss Army knife of a rifle. So it's supposed to be a little bit larger. I think this is the perfect scale for it, especially for Black Series figures. But to the shoulder armor, let me just get this out of the way here. The shoulder armor does stay. I kind of glued it to the sides here, and then on the flat side kind of. So now when you bring this up, it kind of sits up and over a little bit more natural as opposed to before where it was kind of just a flap that was sitting up, and then it just didn't look right before. It looked weird, like he was wearing like I said, shoulder pads for football. But it looks a lot more natural now. Just make sure that you do let your glue dry. Don't rush it. It shouldn't take long for Loctite or super glue or Gorilla Glue or whatever you're using to dry, but it didn't take me long to really modify this. I did have to paint a little bit. It's just a little bit of paint on for the knee. So now the knee sits a lot more natural when I bend it. And you pretty much don't even notice where it was cut into for the most part. So it looks a lot more natural here when he takes a knee. And even just standing here, you can see the little bit of gappage on the top of the leg here. I think it looks a lot better than it did before, as opposed to just when he would bend his knee and the armor would be sticking out like this, and it would just be non-functional for the actual commando. So I don't know. I think it looks a lot better than it did. It still could use some improvement, but it's not going to happen, at least from Hasbro's end. I know there's a lot of customizers out there that sell custom kits that you can actually use with the Boss body here. John Walker is one of them, so if you want to check that out, you can. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by him or anything like that. I think the guy does really good work, and I think he sells good products, so I feel like throwing him a bone, I guess. It's a free bone. There you go. But I think he does really good work, and I like his style and everything. So I usually like to support people like that. And he seems like a really nice guy, too. So I don't know. I really like it. I think it looks a lot better. Do you like it? Let me know in the comments below. And I don't just say that to say that. I actually want to hear from you guys and hear some feedback. If you don't like it, explain why. You know, maybe it's too sleek now. Maybe you liked how the shoulder pads stuck out, so it made them look a little wider. But I think this looks a little bit more natural as opposed to, you know, kind of looking like football shoulder pads. And the knees too. I mean, it wasn't really that scary. Usually I don't like modifying my figures, but I really feel like this body needed it badly. So I might go back and actually modify my Hunter figure and just give him the same modification here and help him look a little natural too. But I feel like he looks a little bit better now. I guess I'm a little bit happier with him the way he looks now as opposed to before, but I still wish that we had that brand new sculpt, a little bit bigger sculpt. Here's another food for thought. If he was a little bit of a bulkier figure, and let's say, because, you know, in typical Hasbro fashion, they've been doing deluxe figures, would you pay a deluxe price if he was a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, came with, you know, this larger style rifle, and you came just as he is? I mean, when you look at it from this perspective, you're already paying about $34 after tax and shipping if you're buying it off the GameStop website as opposed to waiting for it to be in stock in store. You're already paying essentially deluxe prices anyway. If they would have came out with a new body and sold it at a deluxe price, I feel like people would have bought it. I might have even bought it if it was a new body that looked the part. Hell, man, I might have actually bought the deluxe figure pricing because it was a new mold, because it was a new body entirely, and it came with the proper DC-17M with attachments, by the way. If it came with attachments too, that would be huge. And it was like a modular rifle. Oh, that would be fantastic. But, you know, let me know in the comments below what you think about that. That also does matter to me as well. So he also retains full range of motion and articulation and all that stuff. So there's no issues there. You can take a knee if you want him to take a knee. I don't have any issues with that now. It looks a lot more natural as opposed to when you looked before. So, but I don't know. I think this is a much needed improvement for the figure, and it took me probably maybe about 10 minutes, 20 minutes tops, just so I had the knees dry as far as the paint went. So it didn't take too long. There's two ways you can go about painting the knees. I used actual paint for the knee. But I just used, what's it called? Citadel? Or a Master Mold, sorry. Or Mold Master, oh my god. Just a flat, make sure it's a flat black, not a gloss. So same thing here. This is obviously not the black one, but it is a Mold Master. Here's the black one I used. So there you go, right there. Or you can use, if you want to be really lazy, you could use a Gundam marker. Just make sure it is a black marker, obviously. But you could use a Gundam marker and you get these right off of Amazon. So there's that also for you. And like I said, yet again, for this project, all you'll need are two things. They are the X-Acto knife and the super glue. Any kind of super glue you want to use, whatever you're more comfortable with. But that's going to be pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.